Okay, hello, 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 hello. I don't think I've ever lost any vehicle to them, like so many people I know out here, like every vehicle they've had, it's just probably lost 20 cars to them. Same with, I don't know, every time they take a motorhome, he comes back with another one. I don't know how he does it, but I think it's hilarious that he does because they take his car, then he comes back with a Mercedes. Like, it's like, what the yeah, but they're like the vehicle abatement lady is really into her job. She really pats herself on the back. I took 4 trailers today, she said one day. And I said, well, you can't tow mine because I'm legal. And she said, I could take it if I want to. And that's rude. You don't say that to, like, that's not how you talk to, she wouldn't talk to somebody who lived in a house like that. You know, I mean, it's gotten really bad. And the worse that it gets, then the worse that people are going to be on the street. Because, I mean, it's a wreck out here, but there's a lot of mental health issues out here. They really need to open hospitals back up. I mean, on Sundays they feed burritos down at. I was cleaning up. I was picking up garbage and stuff, and there were just like on both corners. I didn't even bother trying because there's just so much garbage, and they're so nuts. Everybody in those on both corners is just absolutely out of their minds, and more than likely would need to be in a treatment facility. Like, I mean, a lockdown, like they would be poop throwers if they were in, and it's dangerous because of them out here. It's dangerous for the rest of us. None of us are taking our meds. We can't take our meds. A lot of us, I mean, I can't take mine because mine help me sleep. And I've woken up out here with lots of things in my face that I didn't really want in my face, and the cops seem like they're worse than they were when we were at the playground. Because when we were at the playground, we had all these advocates around, all these advocates. They were, because it was, yeah, and because it was like that across the country. They told everybody to go to a centralized place. Like I had just, moved out on the street, and they were like, if you go stay down at the playground, then we won't give you camping tickets in town. But if you're in town, we're going to give you tickets, and my friend got so many tickets that moved back to Chicago. He got so many tickets because he wouldn't go live in the playground. I mean, he had like 30 fucking tickets probably, you know. I've gotten a couple, but I actually haven't gotten a ticket in a while, but it takes everything I've got to stay legal. Like I kind of mouthed off to the police officer the other day, and she ran my tags, and I just stood there because I have insurance. I paid more in back tags on that stupid thing than I did for the van itself. But even though it's almost broken down, is the best I can do because I can't afford housing. I can't get into housing, and I'm really bad at doing the footwork. I am really bad. Like, that's like one of my mental blocks. I have a really hard time with applications and I really need help. I'll not answer my phone. Like, somebody literally needs to take me by my ear and help me. And I don't know why I'm like that. I didn't used to be like that, but I don't know. It's like I've given up. I don't even look for a place anymore. I mean, and the van is miserable and it's cold, and but at least I'm not out in the elements. Like, God, when it was 30 degrees out, and you go down to Free Meal and in the morning, and it looked like they had a bonfire going in the street. I mean, just to stay warm. It shouldn't have to be like that. There's so many houses that are empty. There's so much funding that's getting misappropriated by the city, and I don't know how to hold them accountable. We're homeless. Like, nobody's going to listen to us. They've pretty much gotten what they've wanted by the way they treat us. I mean, we're a disposable group of people in our society, and it's really sad because it just shows how broken our society is, because they've, a lot of these people on the street are mentally ill. They've closed how many hospitals down? And the San Jose shipped their homeless, when they closed their hospital, they gave them all bus tickets to Humboldt. And you used to be able to live here on welfare or Social Security, but now you can't because everybody wants 3 times the rent. And they're already behind in percentage of housing. Like, every city's supposed to have a certain percentage of low income housing. If they're already negligent on that, and the housing that they want to build is for working families. It's not for, like, build a fucking, like, transitional. Right, like, build a bunch of studio apartments. That's all we need. Most of us out here can't really live with other people. So, like, we're kind of leery of, I mean, I am definitely leery of trying to go, and I don't want to live in a clean and sober house. I'm 50 fucking 2 years old almost. I don't need to be told when to make a bed or when to get up or when, you know what, or I have to live with 15 other women,
Yeah.
you know, that are all also going through their own I mean, it's totally set up to fail. And I can see why they don't want to help us, because look at how horrible how horrible it's gotten. But it wasn't like that before, you know, it wasn't that bad. And the Fetty is out of control. I must have picked up 100 fucking foils today I didn't even barely get inside the gate, you know, just along this thing right here. I picked up all the garbage, you know, in there, and then on the back edge right here, and then started in that field, and and everybody's doing that shit. Tested positive for Fetty at the hospital when he went to the hospital. I need to get some more fentanyl tests, because it's people are either right or they're dealing both, and they're not cleaning their scales in between, and that's enough. A residue on there is enough to, you know, shit.
Have you been? So cops have been coming down here.
Yeah,
and ticketing people, or just
yeah, they've been coming down here. I think these guys got ticketed. I think the day that everybody got ticketed, we move around. Like, I'll go park behind the Clarion sometimes, and sometimes under the bridge. But like, when all that shit started, I parked the day I think everybody got tickets. I was parked on that main street out there, and they didn't give me a ticket. But I try to move every day, move into a different spot every day. And some people with like trailers, like, they can't move every day.
Yeah. Well, even your van with brake safety.
Right, and I don't like driving. I mean, I still have brakes, but I have to have a gallon of brake fluid, you know. And I think the one thing that's helping me really is that it's legal, you know, because they've not ever. I mean, just when they told us the other night, like at 10:15, to get out of here, but they will come down here and they'll park the way that car's parked right there, facing this way, just looking at everybody, just watching, you know. But I don't know if they give out any paperwork when they take people's vehicles, you know, as to housing and shit. I mean, I don't know if, but they should, and they should at least get them some counseling or something, because you just traumatized that person because you took their security, you took their safety. Now that woman can't sleep at night safely because she can't lock a door. You know, the same with when they take people's dogs, and I don't know.
Break up camps that were like
Right.
cohesive enough to like keep people safe.
Yeah, I think if a camp is like, first off, that's the whole thing. Like, people shouldn't be like setting up camp and having a camp that, unfortunately, we can't have camps that are set up and stay set up. Like, and because of the way that people have made these gargantuan messes, you know, they won't let us camp anywhere. But if all of those people that were out here, if every day they took their tents down and closed it up, like it didn't look like they were there, and they just put all their shit somewhere, you know, then I don't think they would bother people, if people would just pack up every day and throw away their garbage every day. But they don't. I suggested that maybe AHA should be teaching people how to camp until they have housing for them. At least show them the right way to have a camp, so that it's not going to be a problem, you know. Right, like, take your garbage out every day. But I've seen housed people do it too. I've seen somebody that worked at a hotel, they dumped off hella carpet down here one day, and everybody had wall-to-wall carpet in their tent. I'll tell you that. But it's yeah, like, everybody was throwing that shit in those mud puddles out there to soak up some of that water, mud puddles. Oh man. Right, and it gets. I mean, the reason a lot of people probably have all the junk that they have is because they have no control over anything in their life except what they got right there, you know. And we're broken. I mean, everyone out here is broken. We didn't come out here because, oh, I'm just going to be homeless. Yay. Like, that's not a thought that I don't think very many people have. It's just, you know, for every 10 people out here, there's 100 reasons why we're here. One lady, you know, she'd rather be here than get beat by her old man. You know, another girl, she'd rather be out here than having to fuck her dad. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's it. You know, sometimes this is the better choice. Or there's veterans, lots of veterans and lots of mentally ill, and lots of mentally ill veterans. And they just lump us all together because it's easier that way. But That's why all their programs aren't working, because they're not really, you can't, it's hard to do, because I mean, you have to go by individual, I guess, and I don't think that they make mental health a priority as much as they should. Like, there used to be an outreach van, like a car that, like, if you were having a problem, like, that guy's helped me get this girl I found naked under the bridge before, helped me get her to fucking Semper Virens. I took her there twice before she finally was mellowed out enough that she could, and like, who do you call? The police. And that's the wrong person to deal with someone that's mentally ill, because they might shoot that person. I mean, it's happened. They've done it, and it's scary, to even, right, and like, you used to be able to, like, go up to an officer, and like, when my dad was a cop, like, you used to be able to, like, you could ask for help, or he walked foot patrol, he worked in Old Town, he walked a beat. I still think they need that. They need to have, like, their nicest cop do that, because and he was the first bicycle cop. He was, and sometimes it's nice as a woman to be able to, like, walk in the middle of the night. If there's some weirdo following you, you can walk up to the, like, just have a little chat with the officer, and then they'll go away. But now we get assaulted out here, and we're afraid to call the police, because they're not going to listen to us. They're not going to respond. They're not going to care. They're not going to do their job that they're paid to do, because we're homeless, and they don't feel that we deserve. I mean, I'm starting to kind of get a grasp on, like, how they treated black people in the back during, before, segregation and all of that. Like, because anybody can hate a homeless person, whether you're black or white or rich or whatever. You can even be poor and hate a homeless person because you have a place to live, or even goes further than that. Like, I get mad at people that live in their tents on the sidewalk, but I'm in my car, so I'm no better, really. Not really. I'm just a little luckier to have a vehicle with wheels. I mean, I've been on the fucking sidewalk with a tent, and that sucks. Everybody judging you as your whole life is on display, and there's no privacy, and there's no, you're not really protected when you're in that tent. Like, you can still wake up with weird shit happening to you, or somebody sets your tent on fire. Then, like, it's scary, and they're not like trying to come to us and help ask us for, like, what do we need? Like, what do we think would be a good idea? Or how, like, if they opened up one spot where everybody could have their tents, like, how would they do it? Like, how, I think that let them set it up in the morning and the night, and take it down in the morning. That's how it should be, just a place to go camp, and then you got to deal with your shit for the rest of the day. Maybe if they built like at the train depot down south, how they have all those lockers. So why can't they build like a like at the free meal or at a community center? Like, in my big dream was, like, all the nonprofits band together and take their grant money and buy a piece of land and fucking build this shit. And there would be, like, a wall of lockers that were big enough to, like, maybe park your bike and a backpack in. You know what I mean? So, like, if you had a job interview or a doctor's appointment, you could put your shit in there. They could put little kennels at free meal, so if you had to go do shit like that, you could put your dog. I mean, like, there are things that they don't do that could be done that would maybe help the situation, and maybe people would be more willing to work with them.
Jail time or whatever.
Right? Why are they criminalizing not having a home? Why don't they criminalize the landlords that say that you have to have 3 times the rent? 3 times the rent. I don't make 3 times the rent. I get $1,000, maybe $1,100 a month, and that fucking thing takes $400 in gas, just about. Like, and then I have $80 of insurance every month, and my phone bill, and, like, I have bills too. Like, I do have bills on my money, and then I've got to be able to. I only get $27 in food stamps, so I have to buy food, and then I do drugs. I'm sorry, I do. I self-medicate. I would really think I would benefit from doing Adderall, although it was never prescribed to me as a kid. But I mean, I do have ADHD, and I'm bipolar. What, I mean, you name them, I've been diagnosed with it. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. PTSD, definitely. That alone from out here. You live out here for a year, you're going to have mental problems. You're going to have PTSD, no matter what. You know, you cannot live out here without it changing you. I mean,
Devil's Playground. Do you feel like what differences are there now?
I think it's worse now.
Worse.
I think it's worse. I mean, like like in the morning, like but see, all those people in front of, oh my God, they don't know where to go, but God, at least take your stuff down in the daytime. But like the cops will come through and they just take everybody's shit and they throw it away. Like you're not supposed to throw it away. You're actually by law supposed to keep it for 30 days. Even if it's a bunch of garbage, you're supposed to keep it for, he hates, he has ghosts, like for real. Like he has ghosts that his girlfriend, his mom, his grandma, like, you know, and then 300 tadpoles, a horse, a dog, a cat. And Moose sees all of them, I think, because he freaks out every time he comes by. Nick has never raised his voice to him. He always tries to give him treats. He loves animals. Animals love him. Like I catch him eating a jar of peanut butter in the bushes with the fucking pig in Fieldbrook at my girlfriend's house. Hey there, little dude. I have clothes coming this way for you and stuff. Okay. Remember from before that they said that we could park in that upper parking lot because it's a different jurisdiction? Yeah. But they don't tell you that now. They won't tell you that now. You know, I've been parking down here for 5 years. That's sad.
I wonder, so just
don't have squatters' rights?
Like last week,
Cruel and unusual. That's what we were claiming. That's when we sued Palco at the Palco March. That was one of our claims. Yeah. That was what I said to the lawyer. I said, this is cruel. Yeah. It is cruel and unusual punishment. They come every Thursday. Like they would. And if, you know, people that had warrants would bail, they would run. And so if they had nobody to like say, oh, this is my camp, then they would take all that shit at that camp. There literally was a news bit that had the cops standing there and he's like, we're not taking anybody's homes. We're not doing that. As a tractor went by with a fucking full tent in the back of it. I mean, in the front of it, in the scoop. Like if it wasn't happening to us, it would have been hilarious. Like that was straight like a comedy skit. Oh no, we're not displacing anybody. We're not taking anybody's homes. As my house goes rolling by, you know. I mean, I'm broken. I can't fucking police this shit. I can't go beat somebody's ass because they're making a mess. I would if I could, but I can't. Like you know, but really a lot of the ones that are making these messes they're just out of their minds. We need mental health help. We need.
And they don't need to just be in jail.
No.
And get traumatized in that way.
Right. Like
they don't get treated well in jail.
My friend's wife is totally insane, and she like sets fires and shit, and so she got put in prison, and she got raped in prison, and then when she got out, they didn't have any mental health for her. They didn't have any advocate. They didn't get a hold of him. They just said, here she is, and she's like pooping in the bed because she won't go use the bathroom. She won't go in a bathroom because she got raped in the bathroom. Okay. And so she'll not go to the bathroom until she poops in the bed when she's asleep. And then she starts playing. I mean, it's horrible. And when he drove down from Crescent City, she had a knitting needle taped to, or, you know, screwed to this fucking stick. And she held it at his neck like that while he drove the whole time. Like he's fucking in danger. And they just like, what is wrong with our system? Like, cause she's going to end up being one of those bitches that's naked on the fucking corner, you know, doing whatever the hell. Where's her advocate? You know, where's her advocate? She's been made into a convict because she's mentally ill. I don't know. I would love to be a voice for all of us out here, but I'm not. My brain is broken. Like I can't. I'm so flighty and flaky now. I can barely. And it sucks because I probably sound saner than I'm out here, but I mean, I understand both sides, but they can't criminalize something that's not a crime. It's not a crime. Homelessness. Sometimes it is. I mean, some of these people do choose that, you know, but what happened to them? They're not right in their head. The ones that want to be like that. I mean,